Hey guys, so I'm here to give you the answer for these three riddles. This time I gave you three riddles and to give you a new riddle for you to think about. Riddle which the answer will come up in my next video. Now, these three riddles that I gave you, I was told they were Google interview questions. So if you were a candidate at a Google's job, you would be asked one or all of these questions. I do not know if this is true, but I'm giving you the questions anyway, the riddles anyway, because I like them. And if I like to try riddles and give you the guys the answers, then why shouldn't I do this? So this may or may not be Google interview questions, but at least I was told that they were, so there is a chance. Now the questions were: number one, you have 8 billiard balls and you know that one of them weighs slightly more than the others. How many weightings on the scales do you need to tell which is the heavier ball? Riddle 2 is: a man is found dead in the desert, a match clutched in his hand, but no other traces or obvious clues. How did he die? And the last riddle is: you have two jars, one holds up to 5 liters of water, for example, of whatever, and the other holds up to 3 liters. And you have as much water available as you need. How can you measure exactly 4 liters of water using these two jars? Okay, so the first one. So again, you have 8 billiard balls, one is heavier. How do you figure it out? How many weightings? What is the least possible number of weightings that you could do on the scales to figure out? So I'm going to give you the answer. So if you don't want to see the answer right now because you want to think about it first, share it with a friend, or any of these reasons or possibilities, then go ahead and pause the video because the answer is going to come in 3, 2, and 1. So only two. All you need to do is divide the balls into 3 groups. Group A with 3 balls, Group B with 3 balls, and Group C with 2 balls. Okay, then you start out by weighting the groups of 3 balls first, so groups A and B. And if they're equal, so if the scale doesn't show that one of the plates is higher up than the other, then it means that the heavier ball is in Group C, the one with only 2 balls. So then what you need to do is pick the 2 balls of Group C, put one in each plate, and we'll figure out straight away which is the heavier ball. Okay. The other possibility, you still only need to do 2 weightings, but if one of the groups, actually between A and B, the ones that have the exact same number of balls, outweighs the other, then it means that either A or B have the heaviest ball, right? So then you take any 2 balls out of the heavier group. So imagine that Group A, for example, is the one that show the plate going lower down, so it has the heavier ball. Then you pick any 2 balls of that heavier group and you measure them against each other, so one of the balls in each plate. Now if they are equal, then it means that the ball that you have in your hand that is not on a plate is the heavier one. If they are not equal, then the ball that is lower down on the plate is the heavier one. So there you go, only 2 weightings to figure out which is the heavier ball out of the 8. Okay, question number 2. Let's go on the second riddle. The dead man in the desert. Now this one I didn't like as much because the other 2 you need to think about. Now 1 and 3 you need to think about. This one is like okay, but I'm gonna give you anyway. So they say, a man is found in the desert, a match clutched in his hand, but no other traces or obvious clues. How did he die? So again, if you don't want the answer just right now, pause the video. Otherwise, I'm going to give you the answer in 3 and 2 and 1. And the answer is... So actually, first, before I'm telling you the answer, they say that this is a test to see how creative you can be and a story that you can come up with few elements. Okay, so how you are or how good you are at coming up with backstory and possible scenarios. So in this case, for example, an answer that would be possible and acceptable would be that a man was on a plane without enough parachutes and died from jumping to his death after drawing the short match. You all saw it in movies, right? Sometimes someone needs to take one for the team and sacrifice themselves and all that stuff, and they pick matches, straws, whatever, and whoever has the smallest one is the one that needs to do it. So this would be the backup story or the backstory actually for this man found in the desert, just like that, no traces of footprints or any of these things, but all he had was a match or a bit of a match. Okay, and finally, let's go to the fourth, no, not the fourth, the number is 4 liters of water, the third and final riddle of today. So you have two jars. One holds up to 5 liters and the other holds up to 3 liters, and you have as much water as you need. How can you measure out exactly 4 liters of water? So again, I am going to give you the answer in very little time. I was going to tell you 3 seconds, but it's more than that, because what I was going to say is, if you do not want to know the answer just right now, pause the video, think about it, discuss it with a friend, or otherwise just keep watching the video. So I'm gonna give you the answer in 3, in 2, and in 1. So first, you fill in the 5 liters jar and then you pour it on the 3 liters jar. So what is going to happen? 5 minus 3 is 2. So in the 5 liters jar, you get 2 liters of water. Okay, so they stay there, they are remaining. Now, you empty the liter jar, so the 3 liters you get out of them, okay, you get rid of them, and then you pour those 2 liters into the now empty 3 liter jar. Okay, so actually I think I confused yourselves, because I think I said 5 liters, so I'm going to read the answer again for you, sorry. So you fill the 5 liters jar and then you pour it into the 3 liters jar. Okay, now in the big jar, you get 2 liters, and in the small one, you get 3 liters. Okay, now you empty the little one and pour those 2 liters into the now empty 3 liters jar. So you empty the 3 liters jar, you get rid of those 3 liters, and then you have 2 liters on the 5 liters jar, and you pour them into the small one. Okay, all right, you pour 2 out of 3, so it gets filled 2/3 of the way. Okay, then you fill in the 3 liters jar again, and you put it until the 3 liters jar is full. So you pour it onto the small one until that one that had 2 liters already is full. What happens? Well, if you have 2 liters already and you only need 1 for it to be full, that means that out of the 5 liters that you have in a big jar, 1 is going to go, because it's going to go on the 3 liter jar. So in that way, if you do that, what do you have remaining in your 5 liters jar? That's going to be the 5 liters of water that you filled minus 1 that went to the 3 or small jar. Okay, so that leaves you exactly with 4 liters in a 5 liters jar. So I hope it made sense, and I hope you enjoyed the 3 riddles and getting the answers and all that stuff. And as always, as I'm telling you, I'm going to give you a new riddle. This one is there are loads of these in the internet, so these ones you guys are used to them already. So find out the missing number. Okay, so I have 3 McDonald's cups that add up to 30. 1 McDonald's cup and a burger, or 2 burgers actually, add up to 20. Then you have burgers and chips that add up to 9, and then you have to figure out the last result. Okay, so I'm not going to tell you anything else about this riddle for you not to get any clues and for all the merit to be yours when you figure out the right answer. So I hope, as I said, that you enjoyed the 3 riddles that I gave you the solution today, and that you enjoy doing this one. Okay, the answer for this riddle is going to be in the next video. So as always, I hope you be, or that you are happy and healthy at the moment, that you keep being until my next video. Okay, and enjoy this riddle, share it with other people, discuss with your friends to see if they get the same answer. Okay, and as I told you, up to my next video, be happy and healthy. Bye.